Here.
Councilmember Smith,
Here.
Councilmember Thompson. Here. Councilmember Swanson
Here.
and Councilmember Colbeck.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, if you're able, please rise for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda. Is there any additions, changes, or deletions from any of the council members or staff? Hearing none, I'd recommend a motion for approval.
So move. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as written. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Consent agenda. The consent agenda contains the following items for approval. August 18th, 2025 regular meeting minutes, the payment of claims and listing of bills. Entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say no, and motion carries. Any community concerns? Deb, did we have anyone sign in for community concerns?
We did not.
Okay. So we'll skip through that and get on to legal. Consideration of ordinance 168 4th series, and that's the ordinance for our signs in the city of Pipestone. I introduced that at our last regular meeting, the 153.32 of the Pipestone City Code. And I'd entertain a motion for, we're going to have a roll call vote on the adoption of this ordinance. So I'd entertain a motion at
We
this
need a
time.
motion to approve that, which I
Right.
will.
Okay,
Seconded.
so moved and seconded. And Stephanie, if you would do a roll call vote, please.
Mayor Delaney,
I would vote in favor. Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson. Aye. Councilmember Swanson,
Aye.
Councilmember Colbeck.
Aye.
Okay, and that motion would pass 5-0.
Thank you. New business, resolution 2025-53. This resolution authorizes city administrator and mayor to execute a grant agreement from the Minnesota Department of Transportation in regards to the 2026 80 by 80 hangar project at the city's airport. And for this particular project, the city will be receiving grant funds from both federal and state funding sources. Funds provided with this state grant agreement will be in the amount not to exceed $6,618.13. Entertain a motion to enter into that agreement.
I suppose.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, questions? And I'm sure Deb will be spearheading all that information. Thank you. So all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Resolution 2025-54. Again, this is another resolution authorizing the city administrator and mayor to execute a grant agreement for the Minnesota Department of Transportation in regards to the 2026 80 by 80 hangar again and project at the city airport. The funds provided with the state grant agreement will be in the amount not to exceed $14,105.26. So entertain a motion for the state portion.
So move. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed say no, and motion carries. Resolution 2025-55. This resolution, if approved, will allow the city to publish a summary publication of ordinance number 168, 4th series, which was approved earlier in the legal newspaper. So in order to print that entire ordinance, it would take up more than what our paper is basically every week because it's a huge, long ordinance. It took several months to get it updated and together. And I'm guessing on the pages, but I think we were in the 40s or 50s, pages to it. So this allows us legally to publish a portion of it to meet those standards. So I'd entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, say no. And motion carries. On August 13th, the Planning Commission held a public hearing on the application of a conditional use permit for Zachary Weiss, who was requesting to construct a second accessory structure on his property at 311 7th Avenue Southeast. The Planning Commission is recommending that the council approve the CUP with the conditions as stated in the resolution. And I think the condition was that he has a smaller building that he's going to take down. And so he'll still have the same number of buildings. It's just going to be a larger utility building there in his backyard. So, yeah, so Planning Commission is recommending. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries. We have a resignation from a city employee, and that's our building and zoning administrator, Solomon Derby. And his last day of work was August 29th, and the council will need to accept his resignation effective August 29th, 2025.
Move to.
Entertain a motion.
I move to accept his resignation. Second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, questions? I would just like to say that I thought Solomon did a nice job when he was here, and we're sorry to see him leave. But I understand, you know, how things turn out sometimes. So, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Well, along with that, then we did, if you remember, the city of New Ulm was providing services to Solomon while he was getting his licensing. And once the city of New Ulm realized that Solomon was going to resign, then they wanted to end their agreement with the city of Pipestone too. So that would be our next motion, to accept the termination of temporary building official agreement from the city of New Ulm. Entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed say no, and motion carries. Consider safe built building department service proposal. As a result of the resignation of our city building official and termination of the contract building official agreement with New Ulm, the city will need to designate a licensed building official to stay compliant with state statutes and our state regulations. On August 28th, the City Personnel Committee, which was myself and Scott, met to discuss potential options to hear a presentation from a company called Safe Build. And Safe Build is a company who can provide virtual building official services within the city of Pipestone. This alternative may also provide a cost savings in the long run. We talked about a little earlier at our budget proposal meeting, and the full proposal was in your packet. And so it's one of those things, I think it's a good idea to try it and see how it plays out. Like I said, there's a potential for some savings, and there's other communities in southeastern Minnesota that are similar to us. Pine Island, for example, they really think it's a good process. It's paperless, it's online, it's easier for the contractors, the architects, the engineers when they have a project, and they simply can submit that, and it's reviewed, and inspections are done virtually with something as simple as your smartphone. You can take pictures of what you did and submit the inspection. So it's a different way of doing business, but they will put somebody on the ground. They will have boots on the ground if they get enough people for this area. That's what they did in southeastern Minnesota. They were normally around the metro area, but I think there was 12 communities that were approached, and 7 or 8 of them signed up right away, and the rest of them wanted to sign up within a year afterwards when they found out how good of a deal it was. So maybe it's something that'll catch on here in this part of the state. I don't know, but at least they're willing to take us on now at this time if it's something we're interested in. So go ahead,
I'd
Roger.
say that contractors are in favor of, or the contractors are in favor of something like this.
Well, we haven't talked
We haven't,
directly to
right.
contractors here, but in other communities where the people get used to doing this, they think it's a
So who
good
takes the
deal.
pictures? The contractors? They have a list telling the contractor what to take the pictures of, or?
They work with the contractors and the homeowners or residents or whatever the inspections needed, and then or a plan review, whatever's needed. And they work with that and they tell the contractor what they need, and then they can upload plans or pictures or whatever.
So
And they do the inspection.
I have a little bit of experience with this after our house fire. This is essentially what they use to do your inspections and updates on your progress throughout the home. You basically schedule a time and you walk through, you pan around, they'll have you stop and take pictures. It's kind of like FaceTiming with the other person, and then they review it and get back to you and let you know where you're at with things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a different way to do business. And, say as a homeowner, Roger, you needed to, repair a garage door or something, or some trim work or something, and you would apply for a permit, well then it would be the same process. But when it comes time for the inspection, if they want to do an inspection when you're all finished, then you would have to do what Danielle was saying and kind of finish up through that way, so.
Picture, video, or whatever.
One of the points that they explained during their presentation was that it actually, with commercial property, for example, it actually could be quicker because you could have your inspection done when you're done with your work, instead of waiting for someone from the state or whatever to come down and take a look at things. So, yeah,
I mean, it's probably worth a try.
I think it is too. You know, it's all new. And we won't find out exactly how well it's going to work until you start doing it. And I'm sure you're still going to have somebody come in with plans for a deck drawn up on their napkin and say, "This is what I want to do. How can we do it?" And they're used to that. They've worked with enough small communities where if you can scan it and get it to them, that's all they ask for. And then they can go from there and work directly with the individual. So.
This would be for 1 year, correct? So if we decide that it's
Right.
not working well, we can
Right.
explore other avenues.
Yeah, and they did have in their proposal, oh, if I can find it. They originally started out with a community core one-time fee of 49,000 plus 1,500 licensing fee per user per year. They waived that entirely. And they didn't just waive it for 1 year, they waived it permanently. So I thought that was a good introduction for a company that we've never dealt with before to waive a fee like that. And then, of course, you know, if they do have to have someone on the ground, there is inspections, you know, say for instance, a large project like what's going on at the grain elevator, their Chandler Feeds, you know, that's a multi-million-dollar project. Well, when that's completed, I'm sure there'll be more inspections done there than what I got when I redid my garage door. So, yeah, they tailor their job to the, I guess, the project.
You
So
guys still issue the permits here? You still collect the money here, or that's all online?
that would be all online.
And they issue the permits.
Yeah.
Can help people
But we have-
collect the
That's-
money and.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was
Same
just,
here,
do
yep.
they come and show you guys how it all functions so that you can assist,
There's
Some-
training, yep.
you know, homeowners that are doing it themselves and
Yep.
don't know how to do that?
And it's cloud-based, so we'll have access to them. Everything will be, they'll have it, we'll have it. We can have paper copies. Yep, we've checked
No
it.
charge fees for permit, or?
Mhm. Because, yeah, if you look on the proposal, they'll get 80% of the permit fee, but they'll get 100% of plan review fees, which makes sense.
We may have to amend our fee schedule just for their hourly rates.
Yep.
Just to make sure that we're not undercharging for any hourly rate that we may get charged, but
Did they have a minimum fee of $50?
$50. We just have to make
Also.
sure that we're in line with that.
And I think
We would
ours
have
is
to
49
amend
right
Yeah.
now.
Because right now ours is based on cost of the project.
So,
So if you got a $200 project, you're gonna come in under the $50.
So it'd just be a flat fee
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
So what about us old timers aren't good with,
You can,
Not good with what?
people here waiting to help?
Well, yeah, I'm
There's
sure,
plenty of help.
yeah, I'm sure there'll be still, you know, if someone comes in with a they're gonna walk into the city hall here and, they're gonna say, this is what I wanna do. And then you can explain to them, well, this is how you can do it. And, we have internet available at the library. If you don't have internet in your home or a computer, there's places where it is available. And I know that staff there helps people out quite a bit too. So I don't think anybody's gonna get left stranded with a project they're interested in doing. I think there's enough staff, enough
I'm
help
looking at
here.
getting bids for windows, so.
We'll help you.
Yeah.
we can help you, and they got a kind of a hotline number too that we
Mhm.
can direct people to, so.
Yeah. So, I think with the potential cost savings of one less employee and benefits and everything else, but we would be losing some revenue from the permits, but we would still be providing the same service. We would still be enforcing the uniform building codes for the state of Minnesota. And I guess that was, the thought behind that from the very beginning wasn't to make money. That was to make sure people were being treated correctly and that we were having safe buildings and safe repairs made, that no one was going to get hurt on at a later date. And following that uniform building code is something the city of Pipestone wanted to do for years. And I agree. I think that's a good idea. Not all communities do it. This would include everything from HVAC system to plumbing to construction work. Anything you want to add? Scott, you were there also. Did I
The other
forget
thing,
something?
yeah, when they were talking about the plan reviews, how their turnaround time is much faster than what we're used to now in the residential and on the commercial side, so.
Yeah, so with that all being said, if there's any questions, we have a amended contract that was approved through the city attorney. And Jason, do you want to add anything? We technically, could we approve a motion to enter into that contract with this um, company at this time?
Yeah, I believe we have kind of an agreement in place on the language of the contract. I did make some changes to it and they accepted most of those. There's one provision that you see very frequently now in these in professional services contracts that that kind of caps their liability. This one though is a little bit different in that the cap is much higher. It's up to the $2 million of insurance coverage they have, when a lot of times it's limited to the fees that they've received, which can be very small. And on top of that, I've worked with Safe Built folks, used to be Minspect, in cities and townships throughout the state. They're a very well-known entity. They're experts in this field. They do a good job. So I have no concerns with that provision and like I said, they accepted all the other changes that I had recommended. So yeah, I think, and especially because we do want to get somebody in place, to have somebody, a building official, and a designated building official to handle these permits and get these things done. So yeah, I think you guys are good to go on adopting that, entering into that agreement and moving forward with Safe Built.
Okay. All right. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement with Safe Built Building Department Services and go from there.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement.
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any other questions or discussion? Okay. All right, well, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no, and motion carries. We need to schedule a public hearing, and we're recommending, council schedule a public hearing for Monday, October 20th at approximately 6:30 in the council chambers at City Hall concerning the proposed assessment of unpaid municipal services and utilities. So I need to entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Unfortunately, we have to do things like that, but, I hope it all works out for everyone involved. All in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Approve the stormwater maintenance agreement, and this is a maintenance agreement between the city and Carol M. Rasmussen, Chandler Feed Company, and K-Line Properties LLC. The agreement clarifies each of the parties' responsibilities regarding the maintenance of stormwater improvements on property owned by each of the parties, which is located in the area near Chandler Feed. The council will need to approve the stormwater maintenance agreement with the condition that the document includes all signatures and full legal descriptions of the property prior to being recorded with the county recorder's office. And again, that's the improvements at Chandler Feed elevator there at Highway 7523.
I'll make a motion to approve the maintenance agreement. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, say no, and motion carries. Closing comments coming up. 2nd Street Southeast in the 600 and 700 block. They're redoing some work there under the warranty, and they'll be pouring cement there tomorrow. And so it's going to be a little inconvenient for people in that block. They can still use the outside areas of the street close to the curb to move cars in and out, but it will be closed off for approximately 7 days once that concrete is poured tomorrow, for that concrete to cure and before that road can be used 100% again. But this was warranty work on that new street that was put in, and it wasn't up to standards, and they're redoing it. So just wanted to let the public know that. Any other closing comments?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Thursday evening, the final car cruising this season on Main Street. Burgers will be provided with, served by the Veterans Memorial for the proceeds going to the new veterans.
Are you cooking?
No, I'm serving chips.
Oh, okay. I heard you're a good cook. That's why I was asking. Okay, all right. One other comment I have too. We did a personnel evaluation today at a special meeting. And that was through the advice of our city attorney that the entire city council needs to do those. And so we need to get on the stick and get those done this year. And we've got department heads that we need to go through. And Deb, yours is probably due, probably due right now.
Yep.
So we should probably schedule yours and then start a list of all department heads and get those scheduled for our regular meetings. And just to do them during our regular meeting, if it wants to be an open meeting, where the employee has the right to have it at a closed meeting. And we can do it at the end of the meeting during an executive session too, if necessary. So, but I think we need to get going on that. We're already into September, and it's going to be the first of the year before we know it. So, and it's important to do those. I think employees, it's a two-way street, and I think employees deserve that chance to say what they think is going on too. So.
And it'll be during a regular meeting then and won't have to have a special meeting.
Yeah. So let's move ahead with that if we can. I would recommend. So, okay. Any other closing comments? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no, and motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.